Prime Minister has brushed off suggestions a mid-campaign interest rate rise would lead to a repeat of John Howard's 2007 election loss, costing Scott Morrison the election. Gabriella Power is travelling with the Prime Minister and filed this report from Hobart.
Starting the day in high vis and a hard hat, Scott Morrison denies his government has overstimulated the economy.
Our strong economic management has enabled us to put a shield up against a lot of these pressures.
The Prime Minister under pressure to convince voters his party is the better option to combat cost of living pressures.
Right, how long have you been in training now? 4 years. About to get a pay rise.
Yeah. As the country edges closer to an interest rate rise, with inflation now at 5.1%. But Scott Morrison has dismissed suggestions this will cost him government, like it did for the Coalition in 2007.
I think to draw an equivalence between those two issues would be to misunderstand history. They are very different situations.
John Howard, who was Prime Minister the last time rates were raised during a campaign, agrees.
You have to go back to Julius Caesar's time to find lower interest rates.
On the hustings in Brisbane, the former Prime Minister talked up Scott Morrison's economic credentials.
The more pressure there is on economic issues, the more the focus of the mind should be on who can do it better.
Despite the rising cost of living, making that a harder message to sell.
Your government claims credit, though, when the economy goes well, but when the bad stuff happens, it's an international trend and you have no power. Surely you can't have it both ways.
There is a war in Europe. There are global inflationary pressures.
Both major parties have their eye on the marginal seat of Leichhardt. Scott Morrison, appearing alongside his MP Warren Entsch, pledging $24 million to upgrade the Cairns Marine precinct. Labor, though, says it would top that commitment by almost 6 times, promising $150 million to upgrade the area just last week, part of its national security pitch. From north of the country to the south, Scott Morrison is now trying to shore up votes in Tasmania. Finishing the day at a zinc manufacturing facility in Hobart.
It's a catalytic investment in Tasmanian industry.
Promising to spend $50 million to expand the Nyster smelter if his government is re-elected. Gabriella Power, Sky News Hobart.